Breaking news: Maple Leafs has just been revealed, taking everyone by surprise. Our journalists have managed to obtain this valuable information. However, before we discuss the details of the news, I kindly ask you to subscribe to the channel, aiming to soon surpass the number of subscribers of Montreal Canadiens. With everyone's cooperation, we aim to become the leading news channel. Despite having a year remaining on his coaching contract and the opportunity to bring in his preferred candidate, Toronto Maple Leafs general manager Brad Treliving opted to secure Sheldon Keefe with a contract extension. Let me clarify, Sheldon Keefe has proven himself as an exceptional head coach in the Toronto Maple Leafs organization, starting with his tenure at the helm of the Toronto Marlies 8 years ago. However, this decision underscores why Kyle Dubas should retain his leadership role. Approaching the final year of a contract can be unsettling, yet it can also create a sense of urgency, which is often beneficial in professional sports. I understand that the Leafs did not clinch the Stanley Cup last season, but Dubas' moves were a response to his contract's impending expiration, and they all turned out to be significant improvements. Unfortunately, the team faced setbacks due to injuries to Ilya Samsonov and Matthew Knies, encountered the red-hot Sergei Bobrovsky, and lost 4 out of 5 round 2 games, all by a narrow margin. The media, and the public in particular, tend to criticize the team for not securing the Stanley Cup, but they came incredibly close once again last year. All of Dubas' strategic maneuvers paid off, but a series of unfortunate events plagued the team. Re-signing Keefe was not the right move for the Toronto Maple Leafs. As mentioned earlier, I believe Keefe is a capable coach. However, since Brad Treliving's arrival, he hasn't made any significant changes within the organization, aside from offering lucrative contracts to role players and adding enforcers. Treliving has simply renewed all of Dubas' agreements and hasn't shown any signs of implementing a new direction. I support this team, but if a new GM is brought in, I expect to see some changes. A complete overhaul isn't necessary, but it would be reassuring to know that there's a possibility of trades or dismissals. Instead, the core four remains untouched. Keefe is back for 2 more years, and it's essentially a repeat of the past 4 seasons. If the team is committed to Kyle Dubas' vision, then why isn't he the one executing it? What's the point of appointing a new leader if nothing changes? Why on earth would the Leafs dismiss Dubas, who is regarded as the sharpest executive in hockey, if the same actions are being taken? With each move made by Treliving, my frustration grows because the firing of Dubas has not brought about any alterations. After only winning 1 playoff round with Austin Matthews in 7 years, if the Toronto Maple Leafs intended to part ways with Dubas, they should have hired an executive who would instill a sense of urgency and accountability throughout the organization.